Have you ever felt as though the universe is indifferent to your triumphs and failures? Albert Camus once called this tension, the absurd, the clash between our relentless search for meaning and the silence of a vast, chaotic world. But what if this absence of inherent meaning wasn't a burden, but an opportunity? Welcome, fellow wanderer, to a journey into one of philosophy's most liberating ideas, existentialism. Imagine for a moment that life has no preordained purpose, no cosmic map to follow. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? But it's also profoundly freeing. Jean-Paul Sartre, Albert Camus, and Friedrich Nietzsche, the guiding lights of existentialism, invited us to stop looking to the heavens for answers and instead turn inward. Today, in a world overflowing with distractions and uncertainties, their philosophy offers us a chance to reclaim ownership over our lives. So let us step into the void, not with fear, but with curiosity, to explore how this perspective can transform our existence. Existentialism begins with an unsettling realization. Life, at least from a cosmic standpoint, has no meaning. Camus called this the absurd, an eternal struggle between humanity's desire for clarity and the ambiguous silence of the universe. It's like standing in the middle of a desert, endless dunes stretching to infinity with no map, no advice, and no markers to guide you. If that sounds overwhelming, you're not alone in feeling this way. But as Camus reminds us, the absurdity of life doesn't have to paralyze us. Take the myth of Sisyphus, endlessly rolling a boulder uphill, only for it to tumble back down. Camus dares us to imagine Sisyphus happy. Why? Because his task is still his own. In embracing the absurd, we find a kind of rebellious freedom. Without preordained meaning, we are free to create our own. Let me ask you, does life feel heavier when we expect it to be filled with inherent significance? What happens when we instead accept the blank slate before us, like an artist gazing upon an untouched canvas? Jean-Paul Sartre famously said, "Man is condemned to be free." What he meant is this: in a world devoid of intrinsic meaning, we alone bear the weight of choosing who we are and what we stand for. It's both a daunting responsibility and an incredible gift. Consider your life as a blank canvas. At first, the stark emptiness may intimidate you, but then, as you pick up the brush, you realize every color, every stroke is entirely within your control. Would you paint wild, chaotic splashes of color? Or deliberate, intricate patterns? Nietzsche took this concept further, encouraging us to affirm life even in its chaos. His teaching of amor fati, or love of fate, advises us not just to bear life's trials, but to embrace and cherish them. Imagine approaching every challenge with the mindset not of resistance, but of love for the path as it unfolds. Messy, unpredictable, and beautifully human. In our modern lives, we too face a blank canvas every day. The pressure to conform to societal expectations, or to be successful by others' standards, can feel suffocating. Yet, existentialism whispers to us, you don't need to follow the map others offer you. You're free to draw your own. Think back to the time when you felt a deep sense of purpose or connection. Where did that meaning come from? Was it handed to you, or did you create it? Pause for a moment and consider. If meaning is something we create, what could you choose to build today that would bring fulfillment, not to others, but to your own heart? Perhaps tonight, take a moment to journal. What purpose do I want to create? And what choices will help me fulfill it? These reflections might be your first brushstrokes on the canvas of your life. The idea that life has no inherent meaning can feel like a heavy shadow, but it's not one to be feared. Instead, see it as an invitation. Because if there's no meaning waiting for us out there, then every step forward, every decision becomes a creative act. As Camus, Sartre, and Nietzsche remind us. We are not passive recipients of life's purpose. We are its architects. Now I leave you with this question. How will you shape your existence today in this very moment? The brush is already in your hand. What will you paint? What is one way you can begin constructing your own meaning today, even in small ways? When faced with life's uncertainties, how do you navigate the blank canvases existentialism describes? Share your reflections and insights in the comments below. Join us on this journey by subscribing, and let's wander together through the vast landscapes of thought.